Glenn, a 33-0 win against Richmond this afternoon. It looks like we've secured top seeding as well, which is a fantastic performance from the players.
Yeah, no, very pleased. Obviously, conditions weren't great out there, and I think the first half we were actually quite frustrated. We had a lot of possession, coughing up a lot of ball, but I thought the way we came out, controlled the game second half was excellent. I thought the game management from the half-backs was spot on, and we just stuck to the basics well. You know, scrum was going well, drive went well, played high up the field, and the boys reaped the rewards, and sometimes that's all you've got to do. So very pleasing to get the bonus point win in the end, Chappers.
Yeah, it's another one that as a coach you must be pretty pleased with, because again it wasn't the most spectacular performance ever, but we kind of grounded out, and again as a coach you can't really ask for more than that from your players. Sorry.
No, 100%. I think, you know, the actual character that the squad have shown over the last few weeks, or even since, to be fair, since our first cup game against Jersey, when we lost at home, and you know we sort of had a bit of a chat. I think the way they've drawn together, pulled together, I think they've really come on an awful lot, and that's not just the players that actually played today. I think that's the whole squad that's come together, and you know, I think it shows then that actually, you know, your environment is going in the right direction that you want it to, because sometimes you just have to turn up and it's about character. Then it's actually not about the technical ability, it's just actually who wants to turn up and who wants to put their body on the line and grind out the wins, and sometimes the ugly wins are the more pleasing ones.
Yeah, let's just look back at the game a little bit. 7-0 at half time. We had so many chances in the first half and didn't convert them. Perhaps a little bit frustrating, but then fair play in the second half. We pretty much took every chance we got, and I think we scored 4 in that second half, didn't we? So very pleasing 80 minutes, I imagine. Yeah,
no, we sort of came in at half time and sort of said, listen, I think we were something like 26 pieces of possession in the first half, and we turned it over 13 times. You know, we were missing that sort of killer blow. We got into the opposition 22, get a couple of penalties at line-out time, then we lose one, or we have a turnover, and you know, I think we were just trying to force it a little bit too much, knowing that maybe we were having to chase a lot of tries in the game, depending on what other results were going to happen. And I think once we came in at half time, the messages were pretty clear, and then the boys went out and delivered that into the second half. Sort of said we're not going to play too much rugby in our own half. I thought Foles kicked extremely well. His box kicking and the kick chase was excellent, and then we reaped the rewards through Richmond's errors, which was really pleasing.
Set piece very strong today, particularly in that first half. The scrum was absolutely flying forward, and then also I think we scored 3 or 4 tries from Mauls as well. So again, another pleasing aspect to the performance, I guess.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think, you know, the set piece was good for us today. I think the boys really stuck in there and stuck to the process as well. You know, the forwards obviously quite happy in the changing rooms at the minute. It's always nice to get a few more tries. Corndog, I think, got a hat trick, so he's buzzing. But you know, it's a collective team effort, because that all stems from how well, you know, we're exiting our own half first and foremost. You know, so even though the forwards get a lot of reward, which is nice, I think, you know, we wouldn't get ourselves in those positions if it wasn't for the good quality control of the halfbacks in that second half as well. So no, very happy.
In tough conditions, we were pretty patient as well, weren't we, in that second half? It was obviously kind of the ball wasn't quite bouncing for us, and we needed to get that bonus point, but kind of stuck to it, put a few aerial bombs up, and then got there in the end. But it must have been pretty pleasing the way we kind of keep mentioning it, but had to kind of grind that out particularly in those last 10 minutes as well, when we could have been guilty of perhaps kind of chasing the game a little bit.
Yeah, I thought the most pleasing thing for that was we actually had patience. I think, you know, maybe we go back 6-7 weeks ago, we might not have stayed quite as patient as that, which was really pleasing. So we actually backed ourselves. We backed that we'd have the right game control and the opportunities would come, and then it was about taking them when they did. So that was really pleasing. I thought, you know, again, a lot of praise to the halfbacks there as well, and with that management, and not sort of, you know, giving the dull penalties away when trying to get the ball, knowing that we're chasing that bonus point win. And you know, we're going to need that. We're going to need that control going into next week as well against Jersey.
Yeah, that's 5 wins in a row. Just looking back at the Championship Cup as a whole, it's since that first round defeat, it's been a fantastic effort from all the players, hasn't it?
Yeah, no, massively. I think, as I said previously there, I think we've really grown as a group.
Yeah.
I think we've really developed. Are we the finished article? No, most certainly not. We're still looking to improve, which is great. The boys are still coming in here now talking about, you know, how good the result was, but still straight away talking about areas that we want to improve on, that we're going to have to be better in for next week, which, you know, is testament to the players really, and their hunger to want to improve. So I think it's been a really good learning curve for us. We set out a couple of areas that we wanted to improve on after the first block of league games, and I think we've met those, and you know, we'll review them next week, and I think we're in a good spot. But obviously next week it's back into league action. It's going to be another huge game against Jersey at home before Christmas.
Yeah, you mentioned it there. We've got some real momentum now, haven't we? 5 wins in a row, and I know everyone's massively excited about next week, getting back to the Championship. Huge game. I think it's second against third, so just a massively exciting week ahead, isn't it?
Yeah, no, huge. I think the boys are really excited. I mean, obviously it's 1-1 now, isn't it? We've played them twice, and you know, it seems weird that you play a team 3 times in the space of 7 weeks, so we'll know each other really well. But I think it's going to be a good occasion. Obviously, we've got the Winter Wonderland here as well, and you know, we've got a bit of time off after that, so it's sort of one big collective effort from the whole squad this week, and hopefully we get the performance next week, because the boys are itching to get back into league action.
Yep, some knockout rugby to look forward to after Christmas as well. I think it'll be first weekend in February. We'll be here for the quarter-final. Not entirely sure who we'll be playing yet, and then potentially we've got a pretty good route in terms of being the top seed. So again, just a really exciting time at the club at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I think, you know, the boys have worked so hard. I'm so chuffed for them that we're actually there as well, and you know, I think they've earned that position that they're in at the minute, and you know, they're not wanting to rest on their laurels, which is great. They've got a real hunger to succeed in the Championship Cup and in the league as well. And you know, we've got one big challenge. We all know that everyone's just getting so excited for next week as well. And then obviously, if we can get that right, we've got a lot to look forward to, as you say, in the new year. It's exciting to have a home quarter-final. I think, depending on that seeding chapters, hopefully we get the home semi as well if we were to get through. So you know, it's a good time. The morale's good in the squad at the minute, but you know, we've got to make sure that we don't get overly excited with it as well and stay grounded, which by all accounts the boys are. It's a good bunch of boys we've got.